If you try and hit your mother over the head with a hammer, your poll numbers go up. I never saw anything like it. Now, I haven't seen that yet, but, probably that's going to happen. No, it's a lot of weird things are happening. This is a strange election.
Yeah, to say the least, the Republican presidential hopefuls taking the stage once again. This is their fourth debate, but this one will look differently. Only 8 taking the stage in Milwaukee. Joining us this morning to talk about what's on the line for them is NKU political science professor Ryan Salzman. We'll get to the people who are left out in just a moment. First, let's start with Ben Carson. He's taking a lot of heat. What does he need to do tonight, and will he be able to do it?
Well, it's time for him to start laying out some plans. I'd say it's time for all of them to start laying out some plans. The best distraction for Dr. Carson is going to be to start laying out policies, because right now he says, stop focusing on my past.
Right.
Stop focusing on these supposed lies. You're digging, you're fishing. Well, give us something else then. And I know that he has plans out there, but this is his opportunity to really push those.
He's big with evangelicals. Will this affect his standing?
I don't think that it will, just because there's not a good alternative.
Okay.
And now that we can kind of switch over to that undercard, Huckabee gets bumped down to the lower race, and he was an evangelical favorite. But now, like you say, is it Carson's game to lose with the evangelicals?
Governor Chris Christie has been trying to catch lightning in a bottle again. He also is not making the main stage. What does this mean for his campaign?
It's not good.
No.
There's no way it's good. I mean, it's easy to look at Carly Fiorina in one of the early debates and say, well, she was able to bring herself back up, and maybe he could. Maybe being amongst weaker candidates, so to speak, he could really make a statement. I'm skeptical at this point that you're going to see much upward movement by the lower candidates.
Because you're not even talking about poll position. You're also talking about money raised for your campaign. Cruz and Rubio got a nice bump, and they saw more money for their campaigns, correct?
Correct, yeah, and it is about fundraising. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
We talked about that early on, and then we kind of went away from it, but it is about money. This silent campaign, this campaign that goes on behind not closed doors, but it goes in the behind the scenes, where they're trying to raise money, and that's an indicator to other elites as to the support that they're actually going to get when it's all said and done. So you're absolutely right that money matters, and that your debate placement will hurt that.
Jeb Bush, I mean, in the beginning, he was the odds-on favorite, I would think, by a lot of people. Still not making a lot of noise here.
Well, I was, when I was asked repeatedly who I would put my money on, I kept saying Jeb, just based on his fundraising. He's not making a move, but there's a lot of holding steady right now.
Sure.
Donald Trump's holding steady, Jeb's holding steady, Rubio's rising, but it's questionable if holding steady right now could be winning, but it's hard to tell if that's actually the case.
This is airing on the Fox Business Channel. That's not a channel that has a lot of penetration. If I asked people watching this morning, what number is Fox Business Channel, they would be unable to tell you. How is that going to affect the debate?
Well, that's a great question.
Yeah?
I think that it shouldn't affect it too much. Either you're into watching the debates or you're not into watching the debates. And if you have cable, you have all of these channels or not. But the question does become, what are the role of the moderators? And these are unknown moderators versus the ones on MSNBC. Will that help them? Will they get more benefit of the doubt? Will it hurt him? Because we all know in the last debate, the debate itself became the focus of the debate.
Because they were saying that all the moderators were trying to ask him gotcha questions, right? Do you think that's going to happen this time at all?
That's always been a favorite of the kind of the more conservative candidates, is to take on the media, and really all candidates like to do that. I think that it's probably a played out card. I think, but that's not to say I think that we will see some candidates accusing the moderators because it proved to work last time.
I think this election so far is fascinating, and we haven't really got started yet.
We haven't even gotten there yet.
Ryan Salzman, professor of politics at NKU, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We should mention that if you don't have cable, you can watch the debate on foxbusiness.com.